Hello, hello. Happy Monday to everybody. Happy Labor Day to everybody. It is Christy and I am back for another cute craft. Tonight we are going to make a little floating ghost in a pumpkin. This is really cute if you don't do a whole spooky Halloween, but you want to put in a little bit of Halloween. At the end, I'm actually going to do two versions for you guys tonight. So at the end, we'll shut off the lights and then you guys get to see, because these actually light up. So, hey, welcome. So when you hop in, say hello so I know you're here, so I know my comments are working. We are going to do two different versions. I did this one already, and then we're going to make another little one. So I hope you guys like this craft. Hey, Peggy, I thought that was you. It's hard for me to memorize all of the profile pictures, but welcome, welcome. Okay, so tonight we're actually be doing, it should be a quicker one. It's not going to take too long. We'll see though, because I worked on this a little bit. So I'm going to start with how I made our little ghosts. So I'm not going to be able to, because it requires drying, I'm not going to be able to actually do that. I already have them kind of redone, done already. And I'm trying to see which one is like the shortest one to fit in our little pumpkin, which is probably this guy. Okay, so basically how I made these little ghosts is I took like 2 pieces of cheesecloth and I soaked it in just regular Elmer's school glue. So if you have that on hand, I know it's probably on sale right now because of all the kids going back to school. So grab yourself a bottle. I just mixed it with a little bit of water and I soaked the cheesecloth. I just kind of cut them into quarters. I do have a video, so I'll probably post the video. And then I just kind of put them over, I have these skewers, and I kind of like made a little form and I stuck them on top of the form to dry. And then I just kind of stuck them in foam. So that's how they dried like this. Okay, so that's how I made the ghosts. So that was kind of already pre-done. I've actually made a couple of these a while back. And this is Boo. She has been my little friend this past couple months. Because I couldn't wait for Halloween. So I don't know if you guys can see her or not. Here, let me turn this off for a second. So I know there's a very bad glare in my room, but this is Boo, and I put her in a little jar, and she's got a flower, and she's got like little pink cheeks and everything else. So that's Boo. So I've made a couple of these. How I got the eyes was I actually have these like little gems that I got. I got them from my bottom of the bin place that I always talk about. It's like my craft store that is like the consignment shop. So I got these for 50 cents, and these make really good eyes. You could also use googly eyes, or you could just use make felt eyes. I think they have teddy bear eyes too, about this size. So the good thing about this package is there are different sizes. So you just want to make sure that both of your eyes are the same size, because I've done that before and they weren't the same size. So you guys will have to excuse my hair tonight. It wasn't a hair day for me, so I've been cleaning and doing all kinds of stuff today. So okay, so my glue gun is on. Let me go ahead and put the eyes on, because that will be fairly quick. We could dress it up a little bit as well, but I'm not going to today. We're just going to make it kind of quick. So what I mean by that is you could add a little bit of blush. You could add a couple little flowers in their hair. You can add all kinds of things. So sorry guys, I'm just trying to make sure I'm very blind if I can't see up close, so. All right, so don't get burned. They are hard to work with when you have like, those kind of fingers, but I'm just kind of gluing them on, kind of how I want them. And I did use the larger ones, so. I got a little bit of glue where I didn't want, but that's okay. So this is how you make the little eyes. And I should have put them a little bit further apart, but that's all right. So this is how you're gonna make the little ghosts, okay? So very cute, right? Okay, so we're done with the ghost. We're gonna set the ghost aside for now. Now, the way we get our pumpkin is, let me put this back. The way we get our pumpkin is these are at Dollar Tree right now. I think they just come in black and orange, but they do have the little light up inside. So this is our frame that we're gonna use the pumpkin. So basically, we're just tearing this apart. Just kind of ripping it apart because we're gonna redo the whole thing. So I have another one here too. So you just pick out whichever one you want. It doesn't matter because we're not gonna really use that material. You could use the black material at a later time for something else. And these are really cute as is. But I got these last year, but I know people have been picking them up this year as well. So I believe I saw them at my Dollar Tree this year as well. So basically it's kind of like this material that goes over it. So I just kind of ripped it off gently. Now, you can save this for another craft, but we are going to use this light. So you have to kind of carefully pull that light. It just should pop right out, just like it did just now. And you can cut it to make it easier. I might have to, but sometimes you can just give it a little yank and it'll take it apart. And then we will have to, it is glued to that light, so we will have to cut that off. So I am gonna put a little spin on this one though, and you'll see here in just a little bit. So how has everybody's Labor Day? Did everybody have a chance to relax today? Maybe catch up on some stuff, maybe do some crafting. I know I was catching up with some stuff at my house and we had to go shopping, and I thought my kid and my boyfriend were going to be working today, but everybody was off today, so that was kind of nice to have everybody home. It was like a relaxing day. I always enjoy the holidays on a Monday because you get a longer weekend and it doesn't, hit you like a ton of bricks. Although when you go back from the weekend, it's a little harder when you go back on Tuesday. So, okay. So there is our form. That took way too long. I'm not sure why, but take that away. All right, now you'll see that your little tea light is still kind of attached, and actually this one came out perfect. So we are gonna save that. So let me put this over here in my scraps. All right. So basically how I did this was, we're gonna do ours a little bit different. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm actually gonna be making my ghost. I'm gonna make my ghost with a little color in it. Hey Sandy, how are you? I think that's Sandy. Hey Sandy. Okay, so I'm going to take my paintbrush and my paint, and we are going to make a little bit of a pink ombre on it. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take a little paintbrush. We don't need a big one because we're just gonna do the edges of the bottom of her. And I'm gonna do a hot pink. I want to do, this is just pink. That's a bright pink. So I think I'm gonna do this one. Hey Sandy, we're making a floating ghost. It's gonna be super, super cute. I hope. That's the plan. I did one already, and it is a little bit different than the one I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make mine just with the next one with just a little flair to it. That way you guys can get creative and with the ones you wanna do. So I will post my video on making how to make the little cheesecloth ghosts. You guys have probably seen it before. It's probably nothing new. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I try to do a spin on everything I make so that it's a little different than, what everybody else does, We always want to put our spin on it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently take my paintbrush and give her like a little ombre effect on the bottom of her. I I should have made one like this prior, so I have no idea how it's going to come out, but we shall see. And I'm just using a little bit of the bright, I'm using bright pink. It's the Craft Corner, I think, from, not from Dollar Tree. This is a Craft Smart from Michael's. Hey Marlene, how are you? All right, so we are putting a little spin on the ghost that I have here in front of me. Let me put it a little closer so you guys can see why I paint this. And I just want to put a little bit of color on it, on the edges, just to kind of bring out the edges. Everybody is so, and I'm included, the pastel, like Halloweens are so in, you guys, and I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I started collecting some pastel Halloween stuff last year, and I just love the way it looks on black. It's just, it's so catchy. It's so bright and colorful. And definitely different. All right, so she's coming along. You have to excuse me because oh yes, it's in a little pumpkin cage. And I am good. How are you, Marlene? Did you have a good Labor Day? I'm putting it in here. So these are the ones you get from Dollar Tree. So that's what I used. I just took the cover off, and I'm actually going to keep the tea light and put it back in there. So you'll see. You'll see what we do. I probably put way too much paint on my piece, but that's all right. I want to make sure that I'm getting that color, and it's kind of even on here, so it's like the same amount of thickness, like the same line, if you will. I'm perfecting myself right now. So yeah, you just put it upside down, and then you just get your edges like a nice little even line, or, you know, as even as you can. I'm just trying to get the outer pieces. Kind of like an ombre look. Now you could probably go back in here and do another lighter color on top. I'm not trying to make this live an hour long, so hopefully it won't be an hour. But you guys can get creative and do all of this stuff when you have your own if you want to try it. If you want to just do it this way, that's fine too. Hey, how are you, Carol? Carol from Australia. Hello, Crafty Nana. Welcome, welcome. We're making a cute little, this is what we're making tonight. A cute little ghost in a pumpkin, kind of a pumpkin cage. He's inside a pumpkin, so it's cute. I kind of messed up on him there, but that's all right. And we'll call this a girl because she's got the pink. Okay, I think we got all the pieces. So if you see this kind of, I messed up a little bit on the back of this one, but that's okay. As you can see, it gives a nice little pop of color. So if you guys like that, you guys can do it that way, or you can just keep it plain. So this is the one we're putting the twist on, and we're making it colorful. I'm Ruthie. Miss Carol is Crafting Nana. Oh, oh, you're Ruthie. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. The names are very similar. I know it's very hard. It's very hard to come up with the different names. I know I got confused a couple times. A couple people have confused me with others, I think, too. So, well, welcome, Ruthie. I don't know if you've been on my page before, but this is what we're making. Okay, so Marlene, this is what I did. I took a piece of cheesecloth, and I'm gonna post the video for you guys. I made like a little reel, but basically I took like a quarter, maybe about this big, like a 5x7, something like that, maybe even a little smaller. And I took 2 pieces of that cheesecloth and I dipped it into Elmer's glue and water. What I did was I made this like little foil foam like form, and then I placed the cheesecloth over the foil, and I just set it up in like foam or whatever you have. If you have like floral foam, you can stick it in there, and I let it dry. So because I had to do that first, I didn't get to do that live, but I had made these up a while ago. I had made these and I've been waiting to do something with them. But you can make them all different sizes. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. This is the one I made, and I put it in a little jar. He's in his little cage. This is Boo. She's in her cage. So I'm going to be doing more with that. But basically I made a cute little scene. But that's how I made the ghost, and I will post the reel for you. I'll probably post that tomorrow. Okay, so we're pretty much done with our ghost. That's going to probably be dry. So no worries there. Okay, so let me show you how we do the pumpkin part. All right, now, like I said before, make sure you save your light piece, because your light piece is what's going to make it glow inside. All right, now what I did is, if you can see, I have a little bit of the moss inside of here, and then I have like one of those wooden round ornaments at the bottom. So what I did was, I actually, because this kind of has a hole and I wanted my moss to kind of stick, I just basically took this light and then transferred onto a piece of paper, okay? When I did that, I'm gonna go ahead and glue my piece of paper inside of this. It doesn't matter which way, I just use scrapbook paper. You can use, I would maybe suggest a thicker paper like cardstock, or even a paper bag. If you have a paper bag, you can just cut it out from there. Oh, you found me from Sandy's Crafty Corner 7. Aw, I like Sandy. She's a lot of fun. I love watching her. She's always like, oh, this isn't live, and you know, she goes through her hauls and stuff. She's so sweet. I love her. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now, I strongly recommend, depending on your glue gun that you use, if you are using something high heat, let me move my ghost here. You do wear some finger protectors. Yes, a cereal box would work perfect. The inside of the calendars would work cute, you know, just as good, whatever you'd like. So the way I kind of stuck this in here was, I just kind of made a circle. Let me see if I can do this. I had to kind of fandangle it a little bit, but I basically made a circle around with my glue, kind of like a half circle, and then I kind of just stuck it inside and laid it down on the metal piece, just to kind of make it stick there. And I did it with half so I don't burn my fingers, and then you can go, obviously I don't need it on that finger now. You can go in and then just hit it a couple times, just so it kind of sticks, because it is metal. And you guys can use super glue, you don't have to use this, but I mean, I do recommend it. So just make sure you're working like on a silicone mat or something, in case it does get a little messy. So I just kind of held it in place for a minute. Great idea with the cereal box, Marlene. That's a very good idea. All right, so once we have that in place and it dries and hardens up, then we can add our moss. So here's the fun part on this one. I found at Michael's, they had a clearance sale on all of like their spring stuff, and I found all different colors of this moss, and I think this moss is gonna look really, really cute with the pink. And since we're going for like the bright colors with Halloween this year, I'm doing the pink, or I'm doing the turquoise moss. This one I made a little bit more, you know, traditional. So, and we'll do our moss pieces first and then add our ghost and make the stem. So, all right, there we go. It's pretty hard, pretty hard now. Okay, now you want to take your, let's see, we'll do the little one. You want to take your wood piece, and we're going to go ahead and put some moss on there. This is the part that gets messy because it does break apart. I do like this moss though because it sort of kind of stays together, so always wear your finger protectors though. So what I did is I put a little bit of moss on the outside of the wood piece. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So you can sit there and break it apart if you want, so you can kind of place it down where it's supposed to go. And you just kind of make a little kind of like a little nest inside of it. You watch my ribbon video? Oh yes, and I put, okay, so Sandy, go on my page. Last night I posted the links. I think I posted the cardboard one, and then in the comments is the wood one. So if you watch my live last night, you'll see that I put a link for, well, you'll see that we were working with the, don't I have one? I thought I had one up here still. Oh yes, these. These are for your ribbon, so that you can roll up your ribbon easily. And then it's so flat. So you're not being stuck with all of these rolls. I have to get more myself. So all the links are there. And then of course you guys can browse Amazon and find one that works best for you. The larger quantity ones are a little bit more expensive, but I figure if I'm sharing with you guys and you're crafty, you'll definitely use them. So, all right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on my metal piece. It's not really going to stick until we actually put it down on here, and then we'll push it down. So, it's a little, this part was a little tricky to figure out, but it does work. And then obviously you can put some in the inside too of your cardboard. And of course I'm running out of glue. It's always at the worst times, right guys? Am I right? All right, so we're gonna push this down and kind of hold it there. So, hi Mom, my mom is on. That's okay, this is what we're making tonight. This is a little pumpkin, and there's a little ghost inside with this little wood piece there. And then I'm putting a spin on the second one though. And then I'll show you guys how we get him to float. So I'm just kind of holding this in. I can see my glue kind of coming out, so that's good. At least I know it's spreading and it's gonna stay. And then of course we're gonna go in with the glue and then add a little bit more moss on top. But the paper kind of holds it together. That's why I put the paper inside, and it just kind of lifts the moss up to where like I want it to show. So this one isn't holding as much as I would like it to. Let me add a little bit more glue under here, you guys. Thank you, Mom. Yeah, I don't know, I was sitting at my desk at work and I just started playing around and I was like, ooh, this would be a good idea. So let me put this, kind of hold this on here a little bit better. Oh, it's okay if you're late. We didn't really do much. I'm gonna post a video on how to make the ghosts if you don't know how to make the ghosts, but it's just cheesecloth and some glue, that's all. And this one I did paint pink, and apparently he's still wet. So I'm gonna baby wipes. I don't have my baby wipes around for some reason. Okay. So that should be good. And now I'm just gonna take a little bit more of this moss and just kind of break it apart and just kind of place it where I want it in the middle. So it's tricky with working with the wire, of course, because, you know, you got all of this in your way, but as long as you put some glue down, and this glue is very, very hot. I see it like steamy, so just be very, very careful. And of course, I'm going to say that and burn myself, right? Because that's how it goes. So I hope everybody had a great Labor Day. I hope you guys did some relaxing. I know I kind of caught up on some stuff around the house. We've just been busy. Busy doing other things where we have to like catch up around the house. So, all right, now I'm gonna there was a lot of glue there, so I'm gonna let this sit just for a little while to get that together. Now, I know this little guy is still wet, but that's okay. Let me so basically this is how we make it float. The cage is a pumpkin from Dollar Tree. So this is what you will get at Dollar Tree. They're $1.25 because we don't have one on $1. We don't have $1 plus yet. As you can see, there's a little light inside. So basically, I just ripped this off, and then I kept the tea light because we're gonna stick this up inside the ghost, and then I use this as the piece. So that's all that is. And then I'll post a video on how to make the ghosts. All right, so this part is a little tricky, but basically you want to make sure that you have one little hole that's poked at the top. You can use your skewer to do it. So you can easily bring through that piece of fishing line. So the fishing line is barely something that you see. So it's basically, you won't see it as well, and it'll look like the ghost is floating. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut a piece off. Make sure it's long enough. And then I'll be on the hunt for those pumpkins. Yes, they look like this, Marlene. They're just $1.25, light up Luminix. They're usually in a box toward the bottom, and they're orange and black. There's orange ones too. I don't know if they're purple ones or not. Okay, so I poke it through on the top piece, and then I kind of feed it through, and then I make a big enough like loop to bring it through right on the end, because you can always cut it shorter. But basically I loop it around twice, like a little knot on the inside, so it doesn't come through the hole. Sometimes you can even do it 3 times. Sometimes it doesn't always stay though, so you gotta be careful. Okay, let me show you how I did that. So I fed it through the top of the head, and then I made a knot right there. Now, I'm gonna cut this a little bit so it doesn't show coming out the bottom. All right, and there's our floating ghost, so you can barely see it. And you can pull on it a little bit without getting, just so it shapes the head a little bit. Okay? Now, what I didn't really like the way I did the first one, so I might try something different. But basically, you're gonna feed the little ghost through it, and then you're gonna bring that little string off to the top. And it definitely is still wet. I'm not sure why that's not drying very well. The ghosts do take a while to dry when they're full of the Mod Podge, not Mod Podge, the glue in the water. It takes a little while to dry. But in Florida, you can hang it outside for 2 minutes and it'll work. So, now this little girl is not gonna have a whole ton of room because she's a little tall. So I might bend her a little bit. And I will say the ghosts themselves, they're flexible, which is good to do. Yes, I was thinking about adding a bead, but I think it's the ghost that I made. I wasn't planning on making these for these pumpkins. I think they're a little too big. They're a little too tall. But there is some flexibility with it, so you can move it around or bend it shorter if you need to. But a bead would be perfect if you did the right size. So like I said, I wasn't sure that this was what I was going to do with this craft. Otherwise, I probably would have made them a little bit smaller. But that's okay. I'm just going to kind of bend her end here. Now, this is coming toward kind of the top, so I think I'm just going to tie it here and then leave a little bit of room, because she is pretty tall. She looks like she's stuck in there. But I'm probably gonna fold her down a little bit. We'll see. It takes a little maneuvering, I will say. That's probably the hardest part of this, is getting it maneuvered around. So I hope everybody had a good Labor Day. I know I already said that. We've been cleaning and just kind of doing stuff around the house, and we've been watching all the Star Warses today. So that's been fun. I am a big nerd. My boyfriend and I are big nerds. Okay, so now I did kind of bend her in here a little bit, and I tied the top right there. So I'm just going to cut this off. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do the stem, okay? Because we're pretty much almost done. That's how you would kind of put her in there. So there's a couple different ways you can do the stem. I did wrap some jute around it, and I put a little tie. I think since she's really fun, though, we're going to do a couple different things. So you guys might remember this fabric that I used on my little hats. I used this on my hats before for when I made my little Santa and reindeer, which I still have. I did not. I tried to sell them at the craft show, but they didn't. Nobody bought. So I'm gonna use this just because it has some bright colors in it. I'm probably just gonna use two as like an accent piece, and then I got this little scrap piece of pink that I'm gonna do because it's a different color pink than her, and I'm gonna kind of cut this real quick and tear it off so we have another little strip. If I can get it off here. So let's see. I think I'm gonna cut this in half this way. Yeah. Sorry guys. It is definitely a Monday night. You can tell I'm kind of mute tonight. I'm tired. I had a lot of pain going on in my legs and my hip and my ankles last night. I probably need to see a rheumatologist. I'm not sure. Dawn's crouching. Hello, first time watching from PA. Well, welcome. I was catching a glimpse of your page the other day. I did see that you started following me. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, guys. So let's see what we're going to do. This is what we're making tonight, Dawn. We're making the little, well, I made this one already, so I'll show you. I made a little floating ghost inside the pumpkins. And these are the pumpkins that you get from Dollar Tree with the lights. So we're going to light it up, too. So we're going to do this one with a little spin on it. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to wrap this with the pink on top. And I don't know if it's going to look good or not. If I don't like it, I probably will pull it off. I forgot to, thank you for sprinkling. Thank you. Yeah, it was something definitely a little different. So, all right, so I think I'm just going to wrap. Because we don't want the wire showing on the stem. I kind of wanted it to be something different, but we're going to embellish the top. It's a little different spin than some of the ones that you have probably seen. So, and I'm going to be working with strips of fabric for a couple of my crafts this coming week. A lot of scraps and yarn is what I've been working with lately, and I don't know, I love to mix colors and textures, and I've loved it so far. I've liked what I've made so far, so keep following me for all the goodies, all the good things. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, so we made it kind of like a little stem. Does that kind of look like a stem? I don't know. You guys can definitely give me your opinions. I'm definitely going to cut this though, so it's not as long. And I kind of want it a little scrappy, so that's okay. And then I'm going to add some of these. I might even wrap it through another time. I don't know. This is the new part. This is the fun part. Thank you so much. All right, so I am fairly new to the crafting community, Dawn. And I think, how did you hear about me? I think somebody invited you to my page, right? I was trying to think, I thought somebody said they invited you. I was not sure. I think I'm going to put one more strip on this side, and then I think we'll add a little raffia. Now, I also wanted to show you, if you guys do not have moss or the colored moss, moss is available at Walmart, I know, and I have seen them. I've seen the green at Dollar Tree. I don't think I've seen any of the other colors. But if you are near a Michael's, you may want to check your Michael's stores, because that's where I found my colors. I have yellow, purple, a light purple and dark purple, and then I have a different color, like a lime green. This is the one from Dollar Tree that I used in this little guy. And then this is like that teal, which I think pink and teal go really, really cute together, so. All right, now I want to try to bring her down a little bit so she looks like she's floating more. There we go. Okay, now here's the fun part. Okay, my sister Joanne. Yes, I think it was her that, yes, it was her that told me. She sent you a suggestion. Yes, well, thank you for welcoming into the crafting community. I've been crafting since I was very, very young. My mom's on here, she'll tell you. Like very little, like 4. I started making sewing ornaments at my school's like Christmas craft shows and stuff. I think I was like in 2nd grade, and actually selling things. So it's always something I wanted to do. So, all right, here's the stuff I was talking about. There's this color moss, or you can use this. This is like a hay moss. It doesn't. Oh, it's Excelsior. That's what it's called. I couldn't remember the name of it. So you could use this on the bottom too, and it would look just as cute. Also, while I was at Michael's, I got this. Oops, I got stuff falling all over the place. These are 40% off right now. I don't know about you, but I'm obsessed with this stuff. These are very harder to put on these little spools, so I would just suggest maybe keeping them in the little package so you know which season it's for and everything, and just kind of pulling them out as you like. So this was the regular $9.99 at Michael's, and I love the colors on this for fall. Don't you guys love that? They were 40% off, so I ended up getting the whole thing for $6, which if you had to go and buy all of these things like individually, there's so much texture in here, which I love. It's not going to work for this craft, but I had to show you guys. If you had to go and try to purchase all of these different color ribbons or textures, you're going to be paying way more than that. So definitely get these when you see them. They have them at Christmas time, and oh my gosh, you can make the cutest Christmas ornaments. You don't even have to, I mean, you just get your little bow jabber out and have fun with it. So, my raffia is actually my tree skirt, or not my tree skirt, my hula skirt. This is what I use for my raffia. So, we'll add a little bit of raffia to it and see how it comes out. Hopefully it'll come out okay. Obviously, you want to make sure that, you know, you trim it down so it's not all in her face. But I kind of like the way this looks. And I did mine to the side so it doesn't, I know I love that ribbon too. I did mine to the side so it doesn't like hide the ghost. But you can do whatever you guys want. This was just something I had to try because I thought these were really, really cute. And we're doing this part first before I put the light in, and you guys will see why in a minute. It's kind of a pain if you're messing with it too much. You guys will see what I mean. So basically, it's just like braiding hair. You just gather it all up, and I cut the whole strand, and I'll just cut it shorter. Or you can cut it in half first. Let me see if I can pull that piece through. There we go. And then just tie it tight. Now, you could get really creative and put something else at the top. I don't really have anything else at the moment, but that's okay. And then I'm actually just doing a double knot through. So it's kind of going in a different direction. And then you just cut. Now you have a mixture of the raffia in with your ribbon. And I think it's just really cute to add the different textures. This might even be a little too long too, so let me cut a few of these a little shorter. And we're almost done, you guys. Hopefully I didn't keep you too long. Your time is really valuable, and I try to make it under an hour or less is when I try to do this. So I kind of like, oh no. And you can embellish it too with whatever you like. It might be cute to even, you could paint some candy corn like the same color as your ghost. And you can even hang these, but there we go. All right, now what I do with this, because this is very flexible. Mom, it's cheesecloth. It's just a piece of cheesecloth. I got a whole thing of it for like $2 maybe. And this wasn't, I made 4 or 5 ghosts, and I didn't even use the whole thing. Yes, now you gotta do it. Well, anyway, what I was saying is this is very flexible, so it's pretty easy to do, and it does stay in place as long as you're not, doing this a whole lot, like moving it around. But you just turn your little tea light on, and you just kind of put your finger in there through the cage here, and then you just put it up into your ghost. And this is probably, it might take you a couple minutes and a little bit of practice, but basically once you get it up there where the head is, you're just gonna kind of like pull her little, it's not always gonna be perfect, but you can pull her little ends together, and it does stay, as you can see. It does stay. So there we go. There's our little pumpkin. This is our little rainbow type pumpkin, and this is just a traditional pumpkin. So there's different ways to do these, and I wanted to show you guys the difference. Now, I'm gonna turn off my light, and I'll let you guys see. You're gonna be in your total darkness here in a second, and I usually don't do this, but it's really fun. It's really hard to see that they're glowing in this light. So let me pull them up here. And then they glow. And then obviously you just, you put your little finger up there and you turn them off again. But you can keep them on for a little bit of time. And it's the same, these lights are in the same pumpkin that you're using. So, woo! Okay. You guys see that, right? All right, let me turn my light back on. Oh, there we go. All right, you're gonna make one with Mickey Mouse ears? Ooh, that's fun. That would be so cute, Mom. I would want that one, because you guys know I love Disney. Okay, so I hope you guys like this little craft. I had a lot of fun making it. Like I said, there's different ways to make it, and I think these turned out really, really cute. Basically, it's just a piece of cheesecloth. Your main product are these this is what they look like. So you can see the tag at Dollar Tree, and they have the tea light inside already. So just make sure you test it before you take it home, because sometimes, you know, they're $1, so you might get a dud sometimes. So just make sure you check it. Just rip that off, take the tea light out, and you're just gonna place it up inside. You don't even have to glue it unless you want to. Oh, Joanne, you're late. I'm so sorry. That's okay. We got a replay button for you. So it's okay. We made these cute little ghosts, the floating ghosts. So if you have thread too at home, yes, your sister's on here, Joanne. I forgot your sister's on here. If you don't have fishing line, you can use thread if you have that on hand. And then just use some moss and some cheesecloth, and that's all. These are really, really cute. They don't take that much time, as you guys can see, except for, you know, I would pre-do your ghosts ahead of time, maybe make a few of them. You can have them on the trick-or-treat table or give them to your grandkids. I made 6 ghosts I got out of my out of just a piece. I didn't even use it. You may want to check your sizes, and then you just make them with you just make a form with your foil. This is the part that's going to take the longest, is that for that to dry. But that's pretty much it. And use whatever ribbon, raffia, anything on hand. So that's it for tonight, you guys. I told you I was trying to make it short because everybody's trying to enjoy their holiday, and we all got to go back to work tomorrow, depending where you are, and what you do. So I know I have to go back to work, and it hits me like a ton of bricks. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, you guys are melting my heart tonight. I better get off before I start crying. I really do appreciate you guys for joining me, and it's so much fun when I get on here and I get to get away from life and just get to craft with you. I already love to craft, but when I get to craft with you guys, it's even fun, and I try to make things fun for you. So please leave me any feedback, and then let me know if you tried it. Send me pictures so I can post and share your products too. I don't have a group. I'm weary about the groups because I don't want the creepers on there on you guys, but if you message me pictures, I definitely will share them and give you credit. So, all right, guys, have a great night and a great week, and I'll see you soon.